The sun burned hot against the cracked sidewalks of a small, forgotten town. The kind of town people drove through without slowing down, where dreams faded as fast as the paint on the old storefronts. On one corner, near an abandoned gas station, a little girl no older than 7 stood beside a shaky wooden stand. A sign written in pink crayon read, "Buy my lemonade, it's to help my sick mommy." Her name was Lily, and behind her big brown eyes hid a story of heartbreak no child should ever know. She stood barefoot on the pavement, sweat dripping down her forehead, clutching a chipped jar that held only a few coins, the tiny glimmer of hope she refused to let die. Backhand index pointing right. Before we go deeper into this story, please take a second to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. If you believe kindness still exists in this world, if you believe people deserve second chances, this story will remind you why. Lily's mother, Emma, once worked as a nurse in the small county hospital. She was known for her gentle smile and the way she treated everyone, from patients to strangers, as though their pain was her own. But 2 years ago, her life took a turn. Her husband, Tom, had abandoned them after losing their savings to gambling. Overnight, Emma became both mother and provider, doing double shifts just to keep food on the table. Then came the diagnosis, an aggressive form of cancer that drained every ounce of strength she had left. Medical bills piled up faster than she could count, and soon, they lost their home, their car, and nearly everything they owned. Now, Emma lay in a rundown trailer at the edge of town, too weak to move. Lily, with her messy ponytail and pink sneakers that no longer fit, had made it her mission to save her mother. Every morning, she filled a jug with tap water, squeezed lemons she got from a kind neighbor, and set up her stand by the highway, hoping the world might notice her. But most cars just sped past, drivers glancing her way, then looking straight ahead as if pretending not to see was easier. On that blistering afternoon, as Lily fought back tears of exhaustion, the deep growl of motorcycle engines echoed from a distance. 6 bikes rolled up, their chrome shining under the sun, their riders covered in tattoos, leather, and dust. The sight made the few people around cross the street. The town had its share of rumors, the Iron Hearts, they called themselves. Tough men, some with pasts they didn't talk about. But what most didn't know was that under the leather and scars were hearts that once knew pain just like everyone else's. Their leader, a tall man named Rex, removed his helmet and looked at the little stand. His eyes landed on Lily, who stood frozen, her small hands gripping the jar like it was the only thing keeping her world together. "Lemonade, huh?" he muttered, walking closer. His voice was deep but calm, and when Lily nodded, he asked, "How much?" She whispered, 50 cents, but you can give whatever you want. It's for my mommy. She's sick. Something in that sentence hit him harder than he expected. He pulled out a $100 bill and placed it gently in her jar. The others followed, dropping bills and coins until the jar overflowed. But it wasn't just money that stirred something in Rex, it was the way she looked up and said, "Thank you, mister. I just want my mommy to get better." The bikers sat with her, drinking lemonade from paper cups, listening as she told them about her mother, about the trailer, and how someone had come one night and stolen the last of their money, everything Emma had saved from working extra hours before getting too sick to stand. It was only $200, but to them, it was everything. Rex clenched his jaw. His crew exchanged glances, silent but burning with shared anger. They asked her if she knew who did it, but she didn't, only that it was a man her mother once trusted to help. "Mr. Dale," she whispered. "He said he'd pay her back. But he never did." That name meant something in town. Dale was a local landlord and loan shark, known for exploiting people who had nowhere else to turn. He'd lent Emma money for her treatments, then taken everything when she fell behind, even their furniture and clothes. He'd lied, forged papers, and left her with nothing. That night, the Iron Hearts rolled out under the dim streetlights, their engines growling like thunder. They weren't out for revenge, they were out for justice. The next day, Dale's spotless SUV was seen parked outside his office, but when he arrived, he found 6 motorcycles waiting. No one knew what was said inside, but by the time the bikers left, Dale looked pale as chalk, his fancy suit torn, and a thick envelope sat on his desk, one filled with the exact amount he'd stolen, plus interest. Later that evening, a knock came at Emma's trailer door. Lily opened it and gasped. There stood Rex, holding a grocery bag and the envelope. "For you and your mom," he said softly. "From some friends who believe good people deserve better." Emma tried to speak, tears welling in her eyes, but her voice trembled. Rex placed his hand on his heart and said, "You take care of that little girl. She's got more courage than most grown men I've ever met." Then they left, no names, no explanations, just the low rumble of motorcycles fading into the night. For weeks, Lily and her mom couldn't believe the kindness that had found them. The money helped Emma start her treatment again, and the bikers didn't stop there. They fixed up the trailer, brought food, and even set up a small fund to help with hospital visits. Word spread around town, and for the first time, people began to stop at Lily's stand, not just to buy lemonade, but to help. The little jar that once held a few coins became a symbol of hope, a reminder that goodness could come from the most unexpected places. Months later, when Emma regained enough strength to walk again, she and Lily attended the town's annual charity event. Standing before the crowd, Emma shared their story. When she mentioned the bikers, the hall grew silent, until a group of men at the back stood up, wearing leather jackets with the Iron Heart's insignia. They didn't speak, but their presence said it all. Emma walked up to them, hugged Rex, and whispered, "You didn't just save us. You reminded this town what kindness looks like." The next morning, Lily returned to her lemonade stand. The sign was still there, but now it read, "Buy my lemonade, it's to help others like my mommy." The bikers often stopped by, watching from their bikes, proud and silent, as the little girl who once stood alone had now become the town's symbol of hope. Backhand index pointing right. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Leave a comment to remind the world that kindness, no matter how small, can change someone's life forever. Speech balloon special request, comment below, kindness still exists. Let's fill this world with stories that remind us we're never truly alone.